committed to something, generally scares the shit out of me. I have no idea how I'm going to do it because I've never done it before, and it's got a deadline that's public. Well, I say I've committed to it. This is me committing to it now. I joked last week that there was a Q2 event with my mentor where basically we got to get up and speak, and that makes my arsehole go. So I straight up said no. However, the more I think about it, actually a really good goal. And one of the problems that when we're setting goals is we just rush them. We don't actually just sit and ponder. So this has been probably a couple of weeks process of actually thinking about my goals for this quarter. And most people fuck up before they start because they don't sit down and plan it. Try to use one of them gimpy gimbal stick things and had no succession, and now I'm walking around the park with my phone and bumped into my brother, so I look like a weirdo recording stuff on my phone. Not that he gives a fuck. Anyway, after 20 minutes of fucking around with the stick, we fucked the stick off and we're back to the arm. Still no clear on this process, but why would we be? It's only 2 videos in. Anyway, the goal, the more I thought about it, I was like, it's actually a really fucking good goal. One, scares the shit out of me. I have no idea how I'm going to do it, and it's exciting to actually like work towards that process. I don't know why I'm excited by it. It's probably the challenge, but because it's not easy, because I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I believe I can do it, it starts ticking those boxes, and then it inspires others. Well, it might not inspire everyone might think shut the fuck up, but hopefully whatever I've got to say inspires people. I know for some people getting up on stage is really fucking easy, but for me it's not, and for others who are in the same position it's not. So it starts ticking all those boxes of it not being boring, it actually being hard, and it not being selfish. I don't know where I'm walking. I'm just walking, trying to not be in the motorways this week. It's also got a deadline. It's not made up in stone. It's got a clear-cut deadline. So I can't keep putting it off. There's going to be urgency to it. And it also ties in with a bigger goal that I've got. Eventually, at some point, I want to speak in a prison, which seems a very long way away. But it'll be one step closer to do that. And for me, that's something I want to work towards. So it's ticking all these boxes of actually me giving a fuck about it. Can't really see a downside to it. It's got some public accountability because I'm saying that I'm going to do it, and if I don't, I look like a fucking pussy. I don't know what's scarier, saying I'm going to do something and not committing to it, or getting up on stage and probably shitting myself because I've got IBS. So I'll probably be in the fucking toilet for a fucking hour beforehand, sweating like a fucking pedo in a playground. But yeah, that's a problem for another day. But then I can actually start linking it to other goals that I may not find as important, but because there is this, which has a deadline, it speeds up the urgency for them, and I can link the meaning to it. For example, want to get down to 73 kilos. I don't really give a fuck about it, but if I'm going to be on stage, I want to be looking my best. So that now gives the oomph for that. I want to be getting more sales in this quarter, so starting practicing doing sales webinars, things like that, they all start linking together. I've wanted to get my teeth done because they've chipped and I look like a fucking pikey for about 30 years. However, I don't really care about it that much, but now there's some sort of meaningful deadline that I might do it. Probably won't do it, but I can start linking all of these things to this goal now, and it starts just being the pivotal point towards everything. Once I've actually seen a reason to do it, spent the time buying myself into it and actually picking something that I give a fuck about, then I need to see what the requirements are. At the moment, all I know is the date, which I can work backwards from, but I don't know anything else. I know that I don't know what I'm talking about, so I've got to actually work that bit out. I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't know how long we've got on stage. I need to find that out. And one thing I do know is if we're only going to get picked if we have done something worth talking about this quarter. So Paul's going to pick people based on performance as well. So that gives another kick up the arse of actually having to do well. There's loads of don't knows. I could look at what's worked before. I haven't done it before, so I can't do that, but I do know that if I don't practice, then I'm going to be worse. I also know I've never done it before, so I expect to be shit. So I can take that expectation out of the pipeline around that. So I don't expect disappointment around that. I'm getting so many weird looks walking around the fucking woods talking to myself, but I guess I've had worse looks. When I do know the requirements, I can start plotting out the milestones. Am I a third of the way there? Am I halfway there? But to do that, I have to speak to Paul and find out what actually they are. So the right next thing, the first move that I have to do is actually find out what's required. I know, yes or no, if I've completed the goal because I would have spoke on stage. So I know clearly what that is, the outcome, but I don't know what these mini progress markers are. So then I can make sure I'm on track and I can keep checking back and reflecting. Also need to actually put it in my diary. I need to look at when I'm going to do these videos because this is part of practicing for it. I need to look at potentially if I'm going to be learning anything. All of these little bits, they need to be in my diary. If they're not, it's not going to happen. Most people set a goal and they forget that it's actually got to go in the diary, and then they get disappointed, but they haven't actually made space for it. So I need to make space for this, otherwise it's never going to happen. Then I need to look at, especially for me, what I need to say no to. I'll just go off on tangents and start focusing on something different. So I need to make sure I'm clear on my no list. Definitely shiny object syndrome. You could say I've got ADHD, but I don't label myself. Like if I have, don't give a fuck. I can use it to my advantage. People will hide behind these labels. Like, whatever, it's a good thing. It can be a good thing. So you could either be hyper focused, or I could be hyper focused down one lane or the wrong lane. So for me, what I say no to is massively important, and I can keep referring to that list, because otherwise I'll start going down a different project and not on the track. Like this track, I've gone off on a tangent. And the last thing I need to do is actually look at what I expect to happen. So I expect myself want to give up. I expect myself to think, fuck this. This is something that I forget about, and then when I'm in that little pit of what's the point, if I knew this beforehand, I would know that I'm going to feel like that. So just all these little bits of setting myself up, it's just going to make it a lot easier, and more likely I'm going to hit the goal. Plus with regular reviewing and looking at it. So this whole point is I've set a good couple of weeks to actually think about my goals. Most people just go ploughing into them and they're just setting themselves up to fail. If they sit back, if they actually look at what's required, what they actually need to do, what the action steps, where it's going to go in the diary, all of these things, why it actually matters, how it links with everything else. All of this, once we actually do that, it's going to be easy. It's going to be easier. What we need to say no to. Problem is, we just rush into them. So that's why I've waffled about goals for the last two videos. Hopefully, it helps you actually see the importance of sitting down and planning your shit. Let me know how it goes.